Today on Studio One, staying warm in the upper Midwest during the cold winter can be a challenge. We'll introduce you to a new way to warm, one kernel at a time. Also, we'll talk to members of the USA women's hockey team. They're trying to repeat a gold medal performance at the Winter Olympics. And the news team will tell us why an increase in demand for a fuel additive is helpful to agriculture.
From the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks, this is Studio One.
Hello everyone and welcome to Studio One. I'm Monty Cashel.
And I'm Kelly Anderson. Thanks for joining us today. Well, Monty, the Academy Awards are coming up. The nominations are out. And the one with the most nominations this year is Disney. Walt Disney has received 24 nominations for Academy Awards.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're in the lead right now. And coming up on the show, we're actually going to be able to talk with somebody who works for the Walt Disney Corporation.
Really?
Who did an internship with them. So
excellent.
Should be interesting.
Find out a little bit behind the scenes with Disney.
You bet.
We've got other things on tap as well. Music plays an important part in many people's lives. We'll tell you how some are using it as a tool to help others.
Also, movies, models, and pro athletes sometimes have to deal with obsessed fans. You don't have to be famous, however, to become a victim of stalking. We'll meet a detective who tells us how this frightening crime is hitting close to home.
But before that, today's news with Leanna Anderson.
Thank you, Monty and Kelly. The Kandahar airport in Afghanistan is once again an area in turmoil. U.S. forces launched 3 large flares to light up the sky in an attempt to sight possible attackers. One of the flares caught fire beyond the perimeter of the airport and began burning out of control. However, the fire does not seem to be threatening the airfield or any lookout positions in the vicinity. The flares were lit just 24 hours after a firefight that left 2 American soldiers wounded. Meanwhile, former Yugoslavian leader Slobodan Milosevic says accusations against him are an ocean of lies. Milosevic appeared in court today at The Hague in the Netherlands to give evidence in his defense. The former Yugoslav leader is facing 66 counts of genocide and other war crimes. He says NATO is to blame for the deaths of innocent civilians in 1999 and showed pictures of corpses to make his point. He says NATO's bombs are why hundreds of thousands of Albanians fled the city and that his Serb military forces are not to blame. A panel of blood bank experts is working on ways to combat the current shortage of blood donations. One idea is to create a reserve of donors that could be called on when blood is needed. This would also stop excess amounts of blood from going to waste due to its short shelf life. Employees at the Dakmin Blood Bank in Grand Forks, North Dakota, say this plan would be helpful.
It could be a very useful system, and you know, we'd love to have that uniform way of doing things, so we can, you know, keep things going smoothly as far as blood collection goes.
Many blood banks across the nation are experiencing shortages. In many locations, blood supplies that were full just after September 11th are dwindling. The main reason for this may be that too much blood was given soon after September 11th, and many people were also told to wait to donate, which may have discouraged them from coming back. Soon, your driver's license may reveal more about your identity than ever before. The government has proposed a new generation of IDs that would contain electronic fingerprints on all licensed drivers. 37 states already store information using barcodes or magnetic strips. However, few states have implemented electronic fingerprints. Many Americans are not in favor of the new licenses and feel they may be a way for the government to establish federal ID cards. Students are learning a new way of healing at the University of North Dakota. Music therapy is now being offered to people who have both an interest in music and a desire to help people. Michelle Zerker is learning to relate to people through music. She is using her talents to help people achieve therapeutic goals. Music therapy is a relatively new program at the University of North Dakota. After meeting academic requirements and completing an internship of over 1,000 hours, a music therapist is certified to work with special needs populations. Michelle says she is majoring in music therapy because she believes music is a powerful thing.
I think it establishes a connection. It's like talking to someone through song. It's not words. You can reach to anybody through music. I think everyone loves some kind of music, and I think it's really important to use music in life.
The person responsible for designing the program at UND is Therese Costas. Costas believes music is a strong medium everyone can relate to.
It energizes them, it reminds them of important people and important events in their lives. It helps them express emotions or mirrors or matches their feelings.
That's good. That's really nice, Wilma.
Students are able to see these emotions and feelings come alive as they work with the elderly in music therapy groups. Heather Johnson, a certified music therapist who leads the group, says music helps older people relate to events from their past.
That generation used to sit around and they would sing, and that's kind of the stuff that they would do. They would dance and they'd go to music things, and it was a big part of their lives. So even if they can't speak and they can't interact, when the music comes, it helps them to be able to interact with each other.
So whether they are using a unique instrument, singing an old familiar tune, or getting the residents to tap to the beat, these students are showing that music therapy is a powerful way of healing. Currently, there are 70 schools in the nation that offer music therapy, but UND is the only college in North Dakota offering that degree. And that's news for now. Monty and Kelly?
Thank you, Leanna. Well, when I went to college, I don't think I had a fun class like that. That looked like a lot of fun.
You know, I'm in college and I haven't heard anything about it, so that's interesting. Well, let's see what the weather's going to be looking like and go to the Regional Weather Information Center with Ryan Vipond.
Hi, Monty and Kelly. We certainly had a warm day across the area today. And will this weather last? We'll find out here shortly. First of all, taking a look at our almanac. Here in Grand Forks, North Dakota, we bottomed out this morning at 26 degrees. Take a look at that daytime high this afternoon, tying a record at 39. And our sunrise this morning at 7:37 a.m. Currently in Grand Forks, under a mostly overcast sky, our temperature has dropped now to 35 degrees, dew point 29. North winds on the gusty side at about 22, pressure 29.76 inches. The upper Midwest and northern plains seeing temperatures mainly in the 30s and 40s across the Northland, 40 over in Fargo, 39 over in Bismarck, 41 over in Billings, Montana, 39 down in Duluth, and 47 in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Surface analysis across the 48 contiguous states, a low pressure here across the north and one in Canada, with high pressure in control across the Gulf states with sunshine across that area. As we move on into the upper Midwest, mainly a partly sunny sky with that low again over International Falls and a stationary front just to our north, not going to do anything in the way of precipitation for us. In terms of Friday's forecast across the United States, very tranquil for this time of year, eerily normal, or eerily calm, I should say, with high pressure dominant across western sections. There's a partly sunny sky we can expect, and temperatures well above normal for our area. In Grand Forks, in detail for our forecast tomorrow, low of 19 with a high of 35 is expected, partly sunny sky, northwest winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Our weather IQ question for today: what is the coldest temperature ever recorded in North Dakota? Minus 56, is it minus 60, minus 39, or minus 44 degrees? Monty and Kelly will have the answer to this question, plus a closer look at the extended forecast, which I think you'll love, coming up later in the show.
Well, thanks a lot, Ryan. I sure hope we don't hit that record low anytime soon.
No, it sounds like he's teasing us with warmer temperatures. We'll have to tune in later.
Yeah.
Well, let's go now to sports with James DeGelder.
Thanks, Kelly and Monty. The National Hockey League will have 12 days off starting Thursday for the Olympics. The break will allow some of the NHL's best to compete for their respective countries at the games. Wednesday night, St. Louis visited Colorado before some players take off to Salt Lake City. To the highlights. First period, 1-0 Blues, and Trepagna fires the puck on net, and Verbata's there for the rebound to tie the game up at 1. Now the second, Adam Foote finds a loose puck, shoots, and high notes there deflected in. Colorado wins 3-1. Now, more hockey, Rangers at Dallas. First period, no score, till Lindros launches it past Belfour for the goal. Rangers lead 1-0. Now the third, game tied at 2, and McDonald snaps a wrister for his 29th goal this season. Stars win 4-2. NBA action, Phoenix at Minnesota. Second quarter, Wolves up by 5, and Peeler extends that lead by hitting his 3. He'd have 13 points in the first half. Now the fourth, Wolves pulling away when Garnett works hard for his money and tips it in. Wolves win 107-92. First there was baseball cards, then it was starting lineup figurines, and now the latest sports craze is bobblehead dolls. They have been a fad in sports collecting for the last 5 years. Sports arenas all across the nation are giving away bobbleheads as collectibles. The NHL, NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball use them to help promote their athletes. And now some colleges are getting into the act. The University of North Dakota is selling 1,000 bobblehead dolls of a former UND hockey player. All the proceeds benefit the UND baseball team. One marketing professor says people like bobbleheads because they represent someone they admire.
It's something different. It's something new. It's not just a baseball cap. It's not, you know, signed, autographed baseballs are too expensive for most people.
But some bobbleheads are quickly gaining in value as well. Auction sites like eBay have dolls on sale for more than $100. It's now time for the Studio One Sports Trivia question. This week's question is, which athlete has won the most gold medals in one Olympics? There's some great Olympic athletes there, and we'll have the answer and more sports in the second half. Kelly and Monty?
Thanks a lot, James. Well, winter temperatures in the Midwest can sometimes reach the unbearable point. We'll show you how some people are warming up to an economical way to heat.
But first, have you ever had that creepy feeling that you're being watched? Coming up, we'll talk with the man to call for help if you're getting some unwanted attention. Stay with us.
The University of North Dakota College of Business and Public Administration offers real degrees for real people. Our nationally recognized faculty can help you earn a master's degree in business through evening classes.
Taking these evening classes were very convenient for me, and that's how I was able to complete the program.
We offer degrees for people who work, raise families, and lead busy lives. The UND College of Business and Public Administration, real degrees for real people.
Let the University of North Dakota become your strategic partner by providing your business with skills to enhance your workforce retention and productivity efforts. The UND Office of Workforce Development has extensive experience in conducting employee satisfaction research, workforce needs assessments, and the development of customized training materials. Call us for further information. Workforce Development, a service of the Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota.
The most striking feature of Earth is its life, and the most striking feature of life is its diversity.
Not only a source of wonderment and curiosity, this biological diversity, or biodiversity, represents the health of our planet. Today, Earth's biodiversity is decreasing sharply, and scientists believe humans are the cause.
We've entered this era where, whether we like it or not, we are controlling the path that the world is following. There's never been one organism like humans which have had this kind of influence.
What does the loss of biodiversity mean for the ecosystems, both natural and managed, that humans depend on for survival?
In the last 100 years, we are having about a 15-fold greater impact. These are more people each consuming more than ever before. So there's less nature per person than there ever was. And nature not only is nice to see, but it provides us with a lot of services, whether it's clean water, fertile soil for farming, provision of compounds that we mine and take out, if you will, as we discover new drugs and uses that way, using biodiversity in those ways. And these services we take for granted.
Our future world will unavoidably be of human design, whether deliberate or haphazard. In this design, the Earth will retain its most striking feature, its biodiversity, only if humans have the foresight to allow it.
The University of North Dakota. You can go anywhere from here. At UND, you'll find a challenging, exciting community that draws students from across the nation and around the world. The University of North Dakota offers 136 programs with outstanding faculty who will prepare you for your future. UND, an affordable, high-quality education that's nationally ranked. Your future starts here. Visit our campus and join the University of North Dakota community.
You're watching Studio One, news, weather, sports, and entertainment.
Criminal activity, such as theft and murder, are easily defined and punishable. Stalking is one crime that is a bit more elusive. Detective Jim Vigness of the Criminal Investigations Bureau is here with us today. Thanks so much for joining us, Jim. And do you want to just start off and tell us what exactly is stalking? How would you define it?
Stalking is a pattern of behavior that serves no legitimate purpose other than to intimidate, harass, or frighten another person.
Okay, and are there different types of stalking?
There's different classifications of stalkers. For example, somebody who has been in a relationship with somebody and the relationship has ended, somebody who wants a relationship with somebody who's being rebuffed, or somebody like a hero worship, a fan that has no connection with the star politician but believes that they may be in love with them, and they have that relationship in their mind and pursue that.
Mm-hmm. And there's a new type of stalking that I've heard of, cyber stalking. Do you want to just explain a little bit about that?
Cyber stalking would be somebody using computers, mostly the internet, to stalk somebody. And for whatever reason, they're going to stalk that person. They're going to use that medium to do it. And there are a variety of things that they can do via computers these days.
Mm-hmm. And that must be recently new, something kind
Well, as technology progresses, we always find something a little bit new.
Yeah. Who are the usual victims of stalking?
Well, you're generally going to find a male suspect and a female victim. That's the vast majority of stalking victims.
Mm-hmm. Can you think of a stalking case that you could just tell us about, just to give an example of what exactly happens?
Probably the most recognizable stalking case in Grand Forks occurred in 1996, April of that year. The victim was Brenda Rao, and her stalker was Edward Brown. They had had a relationship, and in fact had resided together at one time, I believe. The relationship had ended, and Mr. Brown just couldn't let go of the relationship. There was a series of events that happened, leaving notes, and notes of a threatening nature, cutting things out of some magazines in a way of a warning. This may happen to you if this isn't repaired. There was calls. There was some other unwanted contact. On the night that this ended, Mr. Brown was waiting at her apartment complex, and he was waiting in the laundry room. She came home, he made contact with her, and he ended up killing her with a rifle. After killing her, the police responded, and there was a standoff situation, and Mr. Brown in effect committed suicide. And what he did was have the police fire on him, and it's a recognized form of suicide, and they call it suicide by cop.
Yeah, so stalking can kind of escalate into violence then.
Yes, it can.
Yeah. So once you've defined that there is a stalking case, how do you go about investigating it?
Well, fortunately in this area, the vast majority of stalking situations, the victim knows their stalker. So what we do is gather as much evidence as we can from the victim, what's happening. Can you document with us through statements? Do you have caller ID? Can you show us the notes? This type of activity. Then when we have as much evidence as we can gather, then we're going to make contact with the suspect and just invite them to come in and talk to us about it.
Mm-hmm. And so then once they're charged like that, if you charge them with stalking, what's next after that?
Well, if we do get a charge of stalking, what would happen is they would go through the court like any other person who's been charged with a crime, and we would leave it to the court to determine guilt or innocence in that situation. Stalking situations, though, don't always get charged out as stalking. We may end up having to charge them with a criminal trespass or a disorderly conduct to get them into court, because stalking, we're looking at a pattern of behavior, and we, rather than sit back and wait for this pattern to unfold for a long period of time, we're going to address each of these crimes as they come up. So you may see something get charged with a criminal trespass, as I mentioned, versus a stalking, and we may be looking at a stalking situation if that continues.
Okay. So if someone feels as though they are being stalked, what should they do?
Well, we would ask that they document as best they can and contact police. Or they can contact the Community Violence Intervention Center, which is the Rape and Abuse Center in Grand Forks. There's a number of people that contact them before they contact police. But just by contacting the police, I'd like to mention that that doesn't necessarily mean that your complaint is going to be documented. that it's going to be acted on unless the victim is aware of that and that they agree to that. Many people feel that if I go in and document this, it becomes a public record at some time, and they don't want that person coming back and saying, you went to the police. So they can come in and get information from us as to what this entails, what they could be facing, and some safety concerns that we would share with them.
All right, and you recently attended a training session on stalking in Washington, D.C. Can you talk a little bit about that?
It was attended by a wide variety of states. There were some people from Hawaii and Guam that were there. It was interesting to get to talk with people from other jurisdictions, not only about the differences in the laws between the states, being that we're so close and share the border with Minnesota. Obviously, we deal with East Grand Forks a lot, and so there is a little bit of difference between the statutes. But it was interesting to find out some of the techniques that they're employing in their jurisdictions as to how they're dealing with stalkers.
Yeah. So what can you tell us about how should we protect ourselves against being stalked? Is there anything we can do?
Well, I think it's difficult to prevent yourself from being stalked. There are some things that you can do after you are being stalked or recognize that you're being stalked. And sometimes it gets to be a life change. I know people personally that have moved, that have changed their phone numbers, that have quit their jobs, been employed elsewhere. But some of the things that that can help is reporting it and having us intervene on behalf with this person and just have an understanding with them. This is not going to be tolerated. Some of the common sense issues of keeping your doors locked, having lighting where you live, getting walked out to your car after work, some of those things.
Well, thanks so much, Jim. You've given us a lot of good information today.
You're welcome.
Walt Disney is bringing back a classic. We'll take a look at a time-honored story with a new twist. Also, we make a lot of small talk about the weather. Coming up, we'll see what it's like to make a career out of it.
UND's Conflict Resolution Center is your regional training resource for conflict transformation and prevention. Conflict is inevitable in the business world. Your ability to manage it is key to your success. That's where we can help. We provide on-site training, mediation, and facilitation services customized for your organization. The UND Conflict Resolution Center, capturing the positive energy of conflict and transforming it into human potential.
Why should I go to the University of North Dakota School of Engineering and Mines? Is it the small class sizes and personal attention I'll get from the faculty and staff? Is it the hands-on student projects my friends and I will work on? Is it the professional internship programs that'll help me prepare for my future career? Maybe I just want to be a part of something amazing.
Find out for yourself what makes the UND School of Engineering and Mines the perfect choice for your engineering degree. Call 1-800-CALL-UND. That's 1-800-CALL-UND.
The University of North Dakota has a rich history of retaining and graduating American Indian students. UND offers 26 American Indian programs, more than any other higher education institution in the U.S. The support services provided by Native American programs enhance student success. Native American programs offer tutoring, academic advising, and financial aid assistance, which makes UND a leader in Indian education. For more information, call 1-800-CALL-UND.
The School of Law at the University of North Dakota. This is a unique place, a place where you can learn with some of the best technology, where you can talk to the faculty in small class settings, a place where student activity groups enhance your education, a place which offers interaction with the court system, an affordable place where you can gain all the skills you need to get a job. Take your place at the University of North Dakota School of Law. Phone 1-800-CALL-UND.
Walt Disney Pictures is bringing Peter Pan, Wendy, and Tinkerbell back to life. They'll be starring in a sequel to Disney's 1953 classic, Peter Pan. In Return to Neverland, Wendy is all grown up. She's unable to convince her daughter Jane to believe in Peter Pan's faith, trust, and pixie dust. Everything changes when Jane is kidnapped and taken to Neverland by Captain Hook. Her only way out of Neverland is to believe she can fly. This means Jane must believe in Peter Pan's magic if she wants to go home.
I just think that growing up, it comes with a lot of bad things, you know, and the bad things are losing your ability to just play and be creative and have fun. And I think that's what Return to Neverland's kind of about.
Blaine Weaver provides the voice of Peter Pan for Return to Neverland. Weaver has had guest roles on television's ER and Chicago Hope. He says he believes he was destined for the role. The 25-year-old started his acting career as a youth in a theater production of Peter Pan. February 15th is the first day Peter Pan flies across movie screens nationwide. Now time to take a look at the events happening in your area. People often point fingers at the weather forecaster when Mother Nature catches us off guard. They might be a little less judgmental if they knew how intense predicting the weather can be. Today, we spend a day in the life of a meteorologist.
Discussion and debate often fill the office at the National Weather Service. Typically, this is not your ordinary coffee talk. More than likely, it is centered around what the weather is doing. It is here Dave Kellenbenz keeps his eyes and ears to the sky. He has the responsibility of letting us know what the weather is going to do. He can trace his interest in meteorology back to childhood days.
I've always been interested in the weather ever since I've been a kid. Whenever it would snow, I would run to the window and hope for a day off, like most weather, people that love weather.
Dave spends his workdays tracing atmospheric patterns by analyzing the latest weather data. He says technology has really helped out, especially in times of severe weather. Meteorologists regularly put in long hours on rotating shifts. Dave says his coworkers are vital to a good forecast.
We do have good coordination among the forecasters here as we talk about the weather constantly and try to come up with the best forecast that we can. It's not just one person forecasting. We try to include everybody.
Dave's coworkers say they appreciate the knowledge he brings to the process.
Working with Dave is always a pleasure because he's always got good insight as to what's going on. He pays attention to the weather.
Training to become a meteorologist is difficult.
Our schooling, which is pretty intense for meteorologists with the math and the science and the physics, so it's quite a challenging degree, but it's very rewarding. And if people love the weather, it's very doable.
Dave says weather is still a growing science, and they never try to stop learning about it. With photographer John Randall, I'm Ryan Vipon reporting for Studio One.
Dave tries to maintain the National Weather Service's goal of protection of life and property. He says weather prediction can be a challenging job, but wouldn't dream of doing anything else for a living. The U.S. is trying to find ways to be less dependent on foreign oil. We'll tell you how growing demand for a fuel additive is helping out with that effort. Plus, we'll meet a couple of brothers who heat things up in an interesting way. That story plus news, sports, and the updated weather forecast in the next half hour of Studio One.
Students from any major can build a great future through the entrepreneurship programs at the College of Business and Public Administration at the University of North Dakota.
It lets them meet with business people and spread their wings and do the research to see if their ideas really do work.
Well, this program is for everybody. Business coincides and integrates with any major out there.
Trust yourself, take action, discover the entrepreneurship programs at the UND College of Business and Public Administration.
Explore the educational opportunities available through the Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota. With just one phone call or a click of the mouse, you'll find high-quality programs designed for today's adults. We have a large selection of continuing education courses that are available at a time and place that's convenient for you. Discover a world of learning through the Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota.
future a bit cloudy? Get a brighter picture at UND Aerospace and the University of North Dakota. World-class training programs endorsed by major airlines, an extraordinary fleet of aircraft, and learning facilities second to none make UND Aerospace the largest collegiate aviation program in North America. Begin your future in the aviation industry. Explore programs in space studies or computer science. Soar into the atmospheric sciences. It's all here at UND Aerospace. What's in your future? UND Aerospace, clearly the leader in aviation education.
Are you a parent looking for childcare? Do you know what good childcare looks like? Do you provide childcare and have questions? Does childcare affect your business? Do you have employees who are concerned about childcare? Doesn't every child deserve quality childcare? Any questions? Call Child Care Resource and Referral.
From the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks, this is Studio One.
Welcome back to Studio One.
Thank you for joining us today. Well, the Olympics are in full swing. Do you have a favorite Winter Olympic sport?
I like the hockey.
Do you?
I'm a fan.
I kind of like the hockey too myself.
Yeah.
And the NHL, they're taking some time off so they can go to the Olympics and play. They won't be back until February 26th. And later on in the show, we'll talk to the U.S. Olympic women's hockey team about their quest for gold.
Sounds good.
Yeah, coming up in the next 30 minutes on Studio One as well, it's a product that can be a benefit to both your car and the U.S. energy plan. We'll tell you about the growing demand for ethanol.
Also, we'll hear about an efficient new way to chase away those winter chills.
And internships serve as a beginning to many college students' professional careers. Today we'll talk with someone who had a very magical experience.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, it's going to be magical. Just wait. But first, let's go to today's news with Leanna Anderson.
Thanks, Monty and Kelly. Enron corporate executive Sharon Watkins told Congress Thursday how she was worried about the company's financial state and thought they should come clean. She testified before a House subcommittee about what was going on within the company last year. Watkins says she wrote a memo before an October 30th meeting between Chairman Kenneth Lay and herself. She warned him that investors were being misled by inflated profit statements. Just a week later, Enron reported massive losses, which led to filing bankruptcy in December. Meanwhile, supporters of campaign finance reform are celebrating after a victory in the House of Representatives. The Shays-Meehan bill was forced into consideration after the collapse of the Enron Corporation. The bill was passed after 16 hours of debate. It bans soft money contributions, which are unlimited donations made by corporations, unions, and individuals to national political parties. President Bush has indicated he will sign a reform bill if it clears Congress, but has his reservations about the Shays-Meehan bill. Spending hours in front of a television isn't the only problem when playing video games. The latest handheld controllers are able to give a shaking sensation to make the playing seem more realistic. When using a vibrating controller, children may be risking the same types of injuries experienced by operators of power tools such as jackhammers. The risk is especially high for those who play for prolonged periods of time. Symptoms that can occur from playing for too long include poor circulation, numbness, and increased sensitivity to heat and cold.
The type of computer games that are out there now, they require a lot of skill and grasp, and they get really into it. And I think it's just a lot of the tight grasp, the vibration, a lot of that has more of the detrimental effects.
Stamen says that if children play in moderation, injuries can be reduced or avoided altogether. Many doctors believe the packages should carry health warnings so parents are aware of the risks involved. A new device may help people stay connected a little longer. Motorola has invented a new wind-up charger for cell phones. The free charge is designed to keep dying phone batteries going when a power outlet is out of reach. Cranking the handle of the device for about 45 seconds provides an extra 5 minutes of talk time. The charger weighs just under 12 ounces and consists of a small generator that can be connected to a phone. Free charge is expected to be on the market in March and will sell for about $65. A fuel additive that also helps farmers is seeing an increase in demand. Production facilities of ethanol are rapidly growing in the United States. The president of the Renewable Fuels Association says there are now 59 refineries producing ethanol, and many more are being built.
Things are looking good for a product that has been around for years. To answer the growing concerns of environmental contamination and homeland security, government officials are turning to ethanol. Ethanol is a fuel additive that is made primarily from corn. It contains oxygen, and when blended with gasoline, it allows a vehicle's engine to better combust, causing less emission. The demand for this more environment-friendly product is increasing because of a federal policy to ban the use of another fuel additive in California called MTBE.
It's become a problem because it's a persistent compound that has high water solubility. So when there's a spill of gasoline, the MTBE will migrate further and be there longer.
The ban on MTBE will take effect on January 1st of 2003 and increase the need for ethanol by 25%. The other concern that is pushing the demand for more ethanol is the desire for energy independence. Some believe this independence could help the United States avoid confrontations in the Middle East over oil.
With ethanol, you're not relying on overseas energy. And a good way to put it is you rarely, if ever, have to send cruise missiles into the Midwest to maintain the balance of power between, like, say, Nebraska and Iowa. It hardly ever happens.
This newfound interest and rapid expansion of the ethanol industry is also good news for farmers. Many are finding that using their corn to produce ethanol results in a higher payback for them. And as the government continues to move towards a cleaner environment and energy independence, the future for ethanol looks bright. This is Stephanie Shimmick reporting for Studio One News.
Currently, 99% of ethanol is produced from corn, but there is ongoing research to develop ways to make ethanol from other products like corn husks, prairie grass, and even garbage. And that's news for today. Monty and Kelly.
Thank you, Leanna. Well, I'll tell you what, those farmers might be able to get out in the fields pretty soon if it keeps on being so warm
I know, this is
outside.
incredible.
It's awesome.
Yeah, let's go back to the Regional Weather Information Center with Ryan Vipon to see what we have coming up. Ryan?
Hi, Monty and Kelly. A lot of warm weather out there, certainly so far this month of February. Is there any Arctic outbreak in sight? We'll have that look for you coming up here shortly. First of all, current conditions here in Grand Forks, North Dakota. We dropped a couple now to 32 degrees. Our relative humidity sits at 85% with a cloudy sky and a north wind. Our pressure, 29.79 inches. Current jet stream analysis out there, predominantly northwesterly flow across the western sections of the United States with the warmest air to the south and the coolest air up to the north and east where they're still seeing sub-zero weather. As we put this map into motion, a big ridge develops here across central sections, translating some warmer air into our region. And what this means for us is way above normal temperatures come this weekend with highs approaching record levels. In terms of our 6 to 10-day temperature outlook, which is valid the 19th through the 23rd, so next week, much above normal for the western Great Lakes, with above normal for most of the region and near normal off to the west. You may ask, what is normal for this time of year? We'll take a look at these average high temperatures through the period. 32 over in Madison, Wisconsin, 24 in Duluth, -8 in Winnipeg, and 35 down in Pierce. So our temperature forecast for next week during the period should be above these temperatures. Taking a look at the extended forecast for Grand Forks, North Dakota, a partly sunny sky on tap for Friday and a high of 35. Saturday, partly cloudy and 39, which is above normal. And take a look at that daytime high on Sunday. With a partly cloudy sky, we should approach a record level of 50 degrees and then cooling back down into Monday with a partly sunny sky and 40. Taking a look at our answer for our weather IQ question, the coldest temperature ever recorded in North Dakota. The answer is -60, recorded back in 1936 on February 15th in Parshall, which is southwest of Minot. Monty and Kelly, get out and enjoy the sunshine this weekend, near record level temperatures for nearly mid-February now.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Well, that sounds great.
That's fantastic.
It's time to break out the summer sandals, Monty.
Well, around here at least, in Florida, they'd probably be putting on parkas still.
This is true.
That's true. Well, let's go now to sports with James DeGelder.
Thanks, Kelly and Monty. With the Olympics in full swing, America's waiting for the final tally of the gold medals. One team that hopes to add to that count is the U.S. women's hockey team. Before heading off to Salt Lake, the team recently took on the University of Minnesota to help prepare the players for the games. There, the team showed its desire to win the gold again.
Olympic fever has swept the world. U.S. athletes are in the spotlight and are looking to take home a gold medal for their country. The USA women's hockey team wowed the world when it captured the title at the '98 Olympics in Nagano, Japan. USA captain Cameron Granato led the team to victory 4 years ago, and says second place just isn't acceptable.
In general, I think our team is just right now looking towards the Olympics, and that's why we're working hard every day. And I think anything less than walking away on top would be very disappointing for our team.
The Nagano Olympics were the first time women were able to compete on the world stage in hockey. Now that the team has proven they can beat the best, fans have flocked behind them.
There weren't too many people that paid attention to us, a long time ago, and all, growing up, no one really thought we should be playing ice hockey because we were women, and now everybody's supporting us, and that's a welcome support.
Coach Ben Smith has the team ready to defend their title and has been working with the team daily since August. He says women's hockey has come a long way since 1998, but it's still in its early stages.
Well, it's just one of those exciting moments for the sport of women's hockey. I think to see that it's going to get a showcase here in America during the Olympic Games at prime time.
The team traveled throughout the country playing against various teams to help them prepare for the tough competition the Olympics provides. Granato says it is time for all the practice and dedication to pay off, just like it did 4 years ago. Reporting for Studio One Sports, this is Corey Morlock.
The women's team is currently ranked first in the world. Canada is considered the only challenge to Team USA. However, other teams are looking for an upset. The gold medal game will be on Thursday, February 21st. It's now time for the answer to this week's Studio One Sports trivia question. This week's question is, which athlete has won the most gold medals in one Olympics? The answer is Mark Spitz, who won 7 gold medals. That's the sports for today. Kelly and Monty?
Thank you, James. Most kids dream of going to Disney World to meet their favorite character. It is possible for those same kids to become Disney characters themselves. We'll tell you how.
And waste not, want not. Some farmers will tell us about a creative way to use up their excess corn from their crops. That story is next on Studio One.
Address your workforce training needs through the Workforce Training Partnership between Lake Region State College and the University of North Dakota. Both institutions have joined together to provide training in computer applications, management and supervision, the trades, and much more. The partnership also provides customized training programs to fit the specific needs of your business or industry. For more information, contact the Workforce Training Partnership Office at Lake Region State College or the University of North Dakota.
UND's Conflict Resolution Center is your regional training resource for conflict transformation and prevention. Conflict is inevitable in the business world. Your ability to manage it is key to your success. That's where we can help. We provide on-site training, mediation, and facilitation services customized for your organization. The UND Conflict Resolution Center, capturing the positive energy of conflict and transforming it into human potential.
Explore the educational opportunities available through the Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota. With just one phone call or a click of the mouse, you'll find high-quality programs designed for today's adults. We have a large selection of continuing education courses that are available at a time and place that's convenient for you. Discover a world of learning through the Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota.
You're watching Studio One from the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks.
If someone is charged with treason against the United States, it can lead to the death penalty. A recent USA Today Gallup poll says 60% of Americans want John Walker Lindh charged with treason for fighting with the Taliban. We want your thoughts on how the U.S. courts should deal with Lindh's case.
I think he should be charged with treason. I think that he's an adult and he should be held accountable for his actions.
Yes, I think he should be charged with treason. I think that he turned against the people of the United States and was intending to be militarily involved with the activities in Afghanistan.
I think that he should have been charged with treason, and the reason is when you take up arms against the United States of America, you actively take up arms against the United States of America, you're fighting against everything that we as Americans stand for.
Yes, I think the man should have been left over in Afghanistan. He chose to go over there on his own because he believed in what they believed in, so he should still be over there and quit trying to invoke his rights now and claiming that he loves his country. I think that's a joke after the fact.
Heating costs are continuing to rise. Families are looking for new ways to keep costs down. We found someone who's using a surprising source for heat.
Cold weather and upper Midwestern states go hand in hand. Heat is an absolute necessity here. Heating costs rose last winter, urging many people to look closely at their heating bill. Dustin McDonald is a farmer near Fisher, Minnesota. During the harsh winters, he and his brother Scott work on their finances, plan for spring, and work in their heated welding shop. Dustin and Scott decided to look for a cheaper heating source for the farm. They didn't have to look far.
I think it's going to be the wave of the future because us as a country, we can't rely on foreign oil for our resources. We need to find our own way of being self-sufficient. And I think this is one of those ways of doing that.
At the end of the growing season, there is plenty of leftover corn. The corn has no dollar value, but shelled corn does have a high heat value.
How much? It varies quite a bit. Right now, you could probably save 25 to 30% on your heating bill. Last winter, you could have saved probably 50 to 60, maybe even higher %.
Your home can be heated using only 1 or 2 bushels of corn a day. Unlike other energy sources, corn is renewable. The McDonald's say a home corn energy system is easy to maintain. A fuel feeding system automatically feeds a corn pellet into the burner. The corn is time released depending on what temperature the thermostat is set. Every couple of days, the ash bin of the burner needs to be dumped.
Anybody can really use the product. So far it seems to be more popular with the rural areas and the agricultural people, but it'll definitely work anywhere.
Besides heating your home or shop, corn can also be used to cook your food. The McDonald brothers often use a corn-heated barbecue grill. So the next time you see a field of corn, consider the potential energy it can create. For Studio One, I'm Megan McKee.
Consider this. It takes 4 months to grow a good crop of corn. It takes 40 years to grow trees large enough for efficient heating. And it takes 40 million years or more to convert animal tissue into oil. Stay with us. We'll tell you how Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy are teaching college students how to prepare for the working world.
Let your job experience help you earn a degree in engineering while you continue to work. The University of North Dakota's Distance Engineering Degree Program offers the only ABET-accredited undergraduate degree program at a distance. Instructors and classes are delivered to you through videotape and other technologies.
Allows you to have a class whenever you like.
UND Continuing Education and the School of Engineering and Mines, teaming up to bring quality education to your door.
Future a bit cloudy? Get a brighter picture at UND Aerospace and the University of North Dakota. World-class training programs endorsed by major airlines, an extraordinary fleet of aircraft, and learning facilities second to none make UND Aerospace the largest collegiate aviation program in North America. Begin your future in the aviation industry. Explore programs in space studies or computer science. Soar into the atmospheric sciences. It's all here at UND Aerospace. What's in your future? UND Aerospace, clearly the leader in aviation education.
The School of Law at the University of North Dakota. This is a unique place, a place where you can learn with some of the best technology, where you can talk to the faculty in small class settings, a place where student activity groups enhance your education, a place which offers interaction with the court system, an affordable place where you can gain all the skills you need to get a job. Take your place at the University of North Dakota School of Law. Phone 1-800-CALL-UND.
Why should I go to the University of North Dakota School of Engineering and Mines? Is it the small class sizes and personal attention I'll get from the faculty and staff? Is it the hands-on student projects my friends and I will work on? Is it the professional internship programs that'll help me prepare for my future career? Maybe I just want to be a part of something amazing.
Find out for yourself what makes the UND School of Engineering and Mines the perfect choice for your engineering degree. Call 1-800-CALL-UND. That's 1-800-CALL-UND.
Disney is one of the largest corporations in the world. It employs more than 55,000 people. It also has a unique way with guest and employee services. Joining us today is someone who spent 5 months behind the fantasy as a Disney intern, Corrin Cafferty. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, how did you get involved with Disney?
Actually, it's through the college program, and it's offered throughout colleges all over the nation and the world, actually. And they just kind of provide a presentation, and you attend it, and you apply, and I got it. So.
Okay. Well, what did you do when you were there?
I was what was called a showkeeper, and actually, in normal terms, it's called a custodian. So.
Okay, so you were actually a custodian. They call it a showkeeper. Is there many terms like that they throw around that aren't normal English?
Yeah, well, it's English, but it's Disneyese. It's kind of its own language. Like, I was a showkeeper, which sounds a lot more aesthetically pleasing than custodian, and just like CP is a college program, DAC is Disney's Animal Kingdom, so
okay.
You learn them pretty quick.
So a lot of shortened names for things. No, why did you choose to be a showkeeper, or how did you end up with that role?
Actually, yes, I did choose it. It was my #1 choice out of, there's about 20 different options you can choose from, and I wanted one with the most freedom and the most guest interaction, and I got a lot of that, so.
Okay, Disney always talks about creating magic moments. How did you help create those magic moments for the guests?
Well, I took a lot of pictures. Where I worked, I was right in front of the castle, and a lot of people don't realize that how beautiful it is and how wonderful it is, and to have your whole family in that picture, and me helping them capture that, it was just fantastic.
Okay, what about any crisis situations that you had to deal with?
Well, September 11th was a big deal. We also had some the weather. We had a hurricane come through. And
well, that's not fun.
No, but it was a learning experience, that's for sure.
Okay. What about special events that happen at Disney? Disney always goes over the top in celebrating certain things. Was there anything going on when you were there?
Actually, right now they're still celebrating it. It's the 100 Years of Magic. If Walt Disney was still alive today, he'd be 100 years old, and so they held multiple press events, and it was a lot of fun, like meeting all these celebrities and seeing things like that. So.
Okay, and we have a picture of you standing next to one of the characters, one of the Disney characters. I think is that.
Dopey.
Dopey.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Now what is it like interacting with those people?
Well, they're really entertaining. They're just like, you wouldn't know who they were. We call them friends of the characters, so they're great people. They work just as hard as we do, and they're creating a service too, so.
Now I have to ask you, did they ever break out a character when they were out there and you were talking?
No,
they didn't.
No, they're very good at what they do, and they're creating just as much magic as we are, and we're just kind of a little bit more in the shadows. So.
Okay. What about yourself? Did you experience any magic moments when you were with Disney?
Yeah, I went on a cruise, and that was awesome. It was an incredible experience because they give a lot of like cast member discounts and a lot of different opportunities, and just working in general on the holidays was amazing. It was just being there so far away from your family. It felt like I had my own family within the park. So.
Okay. Now, when you were there, after you were finished, you received some sort of award when you left?
Yeah, actually, I received a letter of recommendation from one of my managers, and as far as I knew, none of my other fellow college programmers received one, so I felt that was kind of an honor, and they were very excited to give me that. So.
Okay, what can you do with that letter now? What does it mean?
Well, they've offered me different position after college that if I wanted to take, that kind of would help open the door, and it's really good having a letter from one of the world's largest corporations. So if I was going on to another job in management or marketing, that'll definitely put me on top of the list.
Okay, and right now you are studying at college marketing. Would you be going back in the same role of showkeeper, or would you be doing something different?
As much as I'd like to, I don't think I'd like to pick up garbage for the rest of my life. So.
Now, I have to pick up something off of our table here that you brought. Now this is the familiar Mickey ears that you can get, and on the back, your name is embroidered on the back. This is a special hat. Can you tell us about that?
When you graduate from the college program, you receive your ears. It's earning your ears and your doctorate degree, and they give you a special one with a tassel, and you get to go get it embroidered for free. And this is actually my name tag that I wear every day. So.
Okay, so did you have to flip the tassel back and forth after you
No.
you didn't have to do anything?
No.
Okay. Now, do you plan on going back to Disney after you get your degree?
I'd like to. I'm just kind of seeing where everything takes me. I'm on seasonal status right now, which means I'm technically still employed. So if I went back, I could go this summer and work for a couple days or work for like 2 weeks if I wanted to. So, and that's pretty much as long as if I keep working at least 1 day a year, then I'm on seasonal status for like the rest of my life. So.
Okay. Well, it sounds like just a great opportunity. And I know that there's people at home watching that I want to do something like that. How can they get involved if they wanted to?
Actually, right in the beginning of April, our college representative is coming, and she will be giving the presentation, which is required in order to go down to Disney World. And you sit through the presentation, then you sign up for an interview, and then you find out from there.
Okay. And these representatives, they just come to universities across the United States then?
Right. We also have college representatives that are students here, and I'd be happy to talk to anybody that would want to talk to me. But they do come in specific areas, and just like we have one just for North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota. So.
Okay. How would you, it sounds like you had a great time. How would you rate this experience?
Oh, like 20 out of 10. It was fabulous. I'd love to do it again.
Good.
So.
Well, thank you for coming on and telling us all about it. It's very interesting.
Thank you for having me.
You're watching Studio One from the University of North Dakota. We'll be back right after this.
The University of North Dakota has a rich history of retaining and graduating American Indian students. UND offers 26 American Indian programs, more than any other higher education institution in the U.S. The support services provided by Native American programs enhance student success. Native American programs offer tutoring, academic advising, and financial aid assistance, which makes UND a leader in Indian education. For more information, call 1-800-CALL-UND.
Let your job experience help you earn a degree in engineering while you continue to work. The University of North Dakota's Distance Engineering Degree Program offers the only ABET-accredited undergraduate degree program at a distance. Instructors and classes are delivered to you through videotape and other technologies.
Allows you to have a class whenever you like.
UND Continuing Education and the School of Engineering and Mines, teaming up to bring quality education to your door.
Are you a parent looking for childcare? Do you know what good childcare looks like? Do you provide childcare and have questions? Does childcare affect your business? Do you have employees who are concerned about childcare? Doesn't every child deserve quality childcare? Any questions? Call Child Care Resource and Referral.
Voller Insurance partners with you in protecting what matters most. For more than 50 years, Voller has built its reputation on its people, its clients, and a commitment to VIP service. Voller Insurance, Fargo, Bismarck, Grand Forks. Voller Insurance understands that the strength of its people is its greatest asset. People that tailor insurance protection that meets your needs. That's the key to VIP service. Voller Insurance, Fargo, Bismarck, Grand Forks.
Tune in next week on Studio One. Studio One is reaching a milestone. It's our 250th live show. We'll take a look back at our beginnings. We'll have that and much more.
Well, we're going to leave you now with some scenes from a powwow from the University of North Dakota. From all of us here at Studio One, have a great week.